Hi YouTube. So, it's Jordan and I'm here with my 30-week update. Today it is Monday, October 3rd. October 1st. And I'm currently 30 weeks and 4 days pregnant. Okay, so let's jump right into this video. Also, I'm like holding it with my hand because I'm in my bed because I'm on bed rest. I'll get into that later, but I'm holding it with my hand because I don't have a tripod or anything like that, so whatevs. So I have everything on my phone, by the way, so that's what I'm going to be reading off of. So my symptoms for 30 weeks have been indigestion, like bad indigestion, especially after I left the hospital. Cramps, like menstrual-like cramps, which that's not okay. Back pain, baby brain, still like I forget everything. My hips ache so bad, like they just ache. I've been peeing a lot more than usual. Ever since I first got pregnant, I've peed a lot, but now it's ridiculous. Fatigue and insomnia, which do not go hand in hand, but they suck so bad because I'm so tired all the time, but it's so hard for me to go to sleep and stay asleep. His movements are also becoming like really painful. Like they just are. He's getting big in there. And crusty nipples. TMI, but my nipples are crusty. And it's so gross. But, you know, whatevs. Okay, so let me move on to my hospital visit. So on Thursday, September 27th, which is this past Thursday, I woke up that morning like 8 something because I was going to get ready for class, and I just felt this pain in my lower abdomen, and I was like, no. No. And it was also like in my lower back too, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, or whatever. Went to L&D. I went to like a triage room, and they, you know, checked my blood pressure and my temperature and, you know, things like that. And they hooked me up to the Fetal Monitor. They can measure his heartbeat, monitor his heartbeat, to make sure he wasn't in distress or anything. He was fine. It was Mama that wasn't fine. So one of my midwives, because I have there's like 3 midwives and 3 OBs at the office that I go to. So it was the one that was on call. She was midwife, and she came in and she checked my cervix. I was 1 centimeter dilated, so that's fun. But with the culture that she did from the vaginal exam, it was came back and I had a UTI, and BV, which is bacterial vaginosis. I actually had BV about 2 years ago. It's just an imbalance of bacteria in your vagina. I mean, it's what happens when the vagina gets less acidic than it should, and then the bad bacteria grows faster than the good bacteria. So that came back, which isn't fun, but I had no symptoms of either one. So they did that or whatever, and that's when they put me on the IV. Now, I have little tiny baby veins. I do. And so she tried to put the IV in my left wrist. Didn't work. She actually blew my vein. And I just had like a big bump and it's bruised. I have a big bump on my left wrist because there was just fluid underneath it, underneath my skin. She had to from the right elbow area, and it was a different nurse this time, and she almost blew my vein, but she stopped it from happening. They finally got it in my right hand. Finally, started doing fluids or whatever, and the medicine used to get rid of BV is called like Flagyl, and since I had it before, I know that it tastes awful. Like, it tastes terrible, and I don't like taking pills anyway, so I was like, no, can I get that through my IV? So I did that or what have you, and on that, BV's cleared up. BV's cool. Shall we? Okay, so then they started me on some antibiotics for the UTI, and they did it through the IV as well. It takes a little bit longer to get rid of a UTI than does BV though. So I'm still on antibiotics, but I'm on a moxil something. I don't know. I have the pills over there. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, I'm on that. They also, when they put me on the Fetal Monitor belt on me, which by the way I hate, because I hate the fact that I have to monitor him 24/7. They did that to measure his heart rate as well as my contractions. So at first, like, my contractions were coming about every 12 minutes, which for 30 weeks, I was 30 weeks exactly on Thursday. For 30 weeks, that's really not good. And neither is being 1 centimeter dilated. So they kept me on that, and they said that in between my contractions, I was also having like uterine irritability, and of course they're thinking that the reason why I had been having contractions and that I had dilated to 1 centimeter is because of the UTI and the BV, because vaginal infections can affect your cervix and your whole labor process. They were kind of concerned about the fact that my contractions they weren't like close together, but they were pretty regular, so they gave me a steroid shot in my butt to mature his lungs in the event that I were to give birth soon. And they gave me another one 24 hours later, so I had to be admitted overnight at least. So, I'm going into that night like, okay, well, I'm staying overnight, what have you, thinking that I was going home on Friday. Friday came. They're still checking me, and they're like, everything's looking good and whatever. They're getting ready to discharge me. And boom, my heart rate goes up to 200. Like, I remember I was lying in the hospital bed, and my grandma was there because she was gonna take me home. And we were watching Say Yes to the Dress, just waiting. And then I just felt like my chest, like my heart was gonna beat out of my chest. And I could hardly roll over to press the button to call the nurse. I was like, I'm having some heart palpitations, get in here. Now, a little background information. My whole life, like as far as I can remember, I've had heart palpitations, like randomly. And they're usually just uncomfortable. I, connected them to anxiety because I have like some anxiety problems. So I just connected them, like put two and two together, like, okay, yeah. But usually I can like calm myself down and, slow my heart rate down and get it under control. However, not this time. They were so painful, and I felt like my chest was going to collapse. They had to put an oxygen mask on me. There were like 10 doctors in there. They did like 2 EKGs. I was hooked up to all kinds of monitors. And the only thing I could think of was, is my son okay? Is he okay? Is he okay? So I kept mumbling, like, is he okay? And they're like, no, he's fine. Like, he was fine. Sorry. He was fine, like, the entire time. The entire time he was doing A-okay. So, the cardiologist, they, did their tests and did blood tests and things like that. And there's nothing, like, just wrong with my heart, but, they were basically just saying, that I have a sporadic heart arrhythmia, and sometimes my heart rate just beats fast for just randomly, which isn't good, and definitely not good during pregnancy. So yes, so off of that, so they're gonna keep me for another day to monitor me on that. So I was like, okay, I'll be here till Saturday. So they did an ultrasound of baby boy to make sure that he was developing correctly, and stuff like that, in the event that I were to go into labor early. So I did that, and he's measuring like right at 4 pounds, which at 30 weeks, it's pretty big. Most babies at 30 weeks are like 2 pounds, 2.5 pounds, and he's measuring 4. Concerned that he might be a big baby, but whatever. I was almost 8 pounds when I was born, so yeah. So they kept me until yesterday, which was Sunday. Finally got to come home. They gave me a prescription. Gave me a prescription for antibiotics, so picked that up. I'm on bed rest until the 9th, which is my next appointment, so I'm not allowed to go to work or school. But work, I'm actually on maternity leave already. I called them and told them, hey, I've been in the hospital. So right now I'm on maternity leave until at least after Christmas, but it'll probably be longer because I don't want to go back to work. School, however, it's a little bit trickier because it's school. I'm probably going to end up having to withdraw from one of my classes, unfortunately, but if that's what I have to do, then that's what I have to do. Oh, on the 9th, on my next appointment, she's going to check me and see, like, I forget what test it's called, but it's like, see, like, if I have a high chance of having him before 37 weeks. And I'll be 37 weeks on November 15th. So, yeah. I'm also kind of concerned that he's gonna be a big baby. Like, I'm planning on doing this all natural. Like, if everything goes right, I won't have to be induced or have a cesarean. So I'm gonna do this all natural, and if he's a big baby, I need a lot of prayer and a lot of focus and a lot of woosah, because yeah. So I think that's all for 30 weeks. I'll have some more videos up soon as far as like, my break plan, and then it gets closer, I'll probably be packing after my baby shower, I'll do like a baby shower haul, and I'll vlog my baby shower as well. Then soon after that, I'll be doing the what's in my hospital bag, and then what's in the baby's diaper hospital bag, and I have other videos planned. I have like this whole list of videos that I have planned. So yeah, it's right now it's 11:21 Central Standard Time, and I need to take my antibiotic and then head to bed. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.